Tell me about your journey into crypto. How did that start in the first place? And then you became the CEO for ZepPay. So tell us about that.
So I think that given that I started exploring this in 14, but with all sincerity, only in 2016. Probably almost everybody at that point was getting in this serendipitously, as in it was not a well thought out plan. There were hardly any people involved. Even as recently as 2018 mid, the number of Indians who were really involved in this was like about 55,000. Uh, yeah, actually, I'm so yeah, it's like 55 lakhs. Sorry. So I think that the numbers are fairly small. In light of that, uh, I had heard of something called Bitcoin and looked up online Wikipedia or something along those lines and found that it was some form of money which nobody makes or everybody can make and there is no sovereign behind it and stuff. And within a few minutes of reading it, I said, haha, this is nonsense. Right? As in, I just rejected it within probably something like 5-10 minutes of finding out about it because it seemed like weird and really out there. Luckily, uh, I still continued to remain open and kept reading up more about it. At that point of time, there were not enough online resources where you could go and do a course or watch a set of videos, or YouTube had hardly anything on it. And I
This
came
was
across a
when
course. This will
2016, you
be
said.
2014.
Okay.
And I kept getting on and off interested in it. And then finally, I came across a course on a platform called Coursera. It was by Princeton University. And at that point of time, to the best of my knowledge, the only available online course, or at least of repute, which you could do, it was a terribly boring course, but an extremely informative course. As in, I would have to watch several videos many times so that I don't fall asleep. But I learned a lot. I understood how, you know, ABC can transact, Alice pays Bob kind of thing can be extrapolated into an entire economy, why this was called innovative, and those sort of things. And I realized that I don't know whether this will go as far as disrupting the global financial system, but it seemed extremely likely to me that this would play a very significant role in finance and economics. And September 2016 was when I started doing almost exclusively Bitcoin. And by mid 17 or so, I basically decided this is where I wanted to spend the rest of my career. Uh, First Jan, or was it second Jan of 18, I became head of the blockchain and cryptocurrency committee, which at that point was the primary industry body. There had been an industry body prior to that called DABFI.
Sorry, where? So this committee was a sort of private committee in India.
So the first association made was DABFI, Digital Assets and Blockchain Foundation of India. And this was, there were many people as part of this. There were cryptocurrency exchanges. I think there was one coin issuer. There was one law firm called Nishit Desai Associates. They authored some fine sort of a document
Yeah.
about how crypto could be self-regulated. They did a lot of work. But what happened here was that the people who were working in this first committee were all the founders of various projects. And one, no founder could regard this as their primary activity. And two, founders in the real world were competing against each other, but in the industry association were friends with each other. That may have been a reason that they decided it's not working. So they met IAMAI, which is the Internet and Mobile Association of India, which is one of the largest association. Like all the e-commerce companies are part of it, the cellular operators are part of it, and all the large Paytm and Flipkart and all of those are part of IAMAI. So IAMAI said, so we went to IAMAI and said, why don't you run? By the way, I was not yet part of this. Okay, so they said we are not going to run an external industry association, but you can set up a committee under IAMAI and all of the ABFI can move there. So that is what the Blockchain and Cryptocurrency Committee became, which was part of the Internet and Mobile Association of India. Coincidentally, DAPFI continued to exist after that, but since most members had migrated, it became relatively uh, less functional. You may have heard of the Reserve Bank of India banning bank accounts, which was also been regarded as almost banning cryptocurrency in India. Many cases were filed at the High Court and Supreme Court level, but eventually the case which led to a verdict was the one which was headed by the IAMAI, which means the Blockchain and Cryptocurrency Committee. So on 2nd Jan, which was the first working day for me in 2018, I headed that. And shortly thereafter, I moved to one of the member organizations, which was Zeppe, a cryptocurrency exchange. I joined them as the CEO.